Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel Power and Redemption. My name is Nicole, and I continue to give the lived experience of my childhood and growing up in a narcissistic surrounding, and in particular with a narcissistic mom, someone who had a reprobate mind. She herself had faced a lot of traumas in her life. Her mother also faced trauma in her life. So this was a pattern that came on to the bloodline. And there were doors that was legally open and gave access for free reign for manipulation, control, witchcraft, and all the ills in the bloodline that followed generation onto generation. However, it will be remiss of me if I dishonor and did not say some of the positives that my mother actually did. So I can recall very early up, in my childhood, I can see my mother sometime, like I said, it was a lot of us, right? And we didn't share the same dads. So I would see my mom like giving us things to eat and remaining hungry. I can say we never went to bed hungry. I cannot recall of any situation where we went to bed hungry. I can also recall as a child, I would be given the best. My mother had talent, so she can sew. So any event that I had to go, she would whip up an outfit fairly short so that I can go. I always lived the house clean. I never looked unkept. My other siblings was never unkept. So there was that good imagery. Always. No complaints on that side. However, in her doing that, and at the time I've been the only girl for a while, it also brought a contention with her siblings. So they're like, oh, she treats this child as if she's a queen. She tends to feel she's better than everybody. You look how she spoil her. She always have the newest things and the latest things. So when I'm not faced with this sort of issues at the house, in my aunts or other relative, I would also be looked at as a scapegoat. Or my mother think I'm better than everybody. Look how she dresses me. Look how, she does my hair. Look how the clothes she gives me to wear. And this sort of things went on. So you tend to have, like, if I'm going to visit an aunt who just live a short distance from us, you would hear her whispering, you better be careful. I tell you all, don't encourage, who is her sister, she would call her sister name, do not encourage her children to be here. I don't want her children to be here. She behaves as if her children is better than everybody. So you have that contention. Always. So there are times, of course, my mother, she did the best. I would say that she can at the time. And yes, I can see all the ills and all the strongholds and all the altars that was positioned and targeted towards that family and in that bloodline throughout generation. Because we have to remember, the Word of God says, in Deuteronomy 28 and continuing, he showed the blessings and he showed the curses. So when you entail and you entangle your bloodline in things that God detests, false worship, when you engage in idolatry and all this other ills, you bring on the curses. When you break the laws, the covenants, and the ordinances of God, you invite the strongholds and you forge covenants with altars that follow your bloodline through generation. So I can say my mother also had it very hard. Like you would see extreme poverty, like her jobs, like she was not sure. Like she was a very brilliant woman, her handwriting immaculate. However, you can tend to see she has struggles. She at this stage, it's like she's moving on, and the next stage she will be taken down. She engaged in relationships. I see her giving her best you know, trying to like show love or seeking love in the wrong places. So you see her having traumatic things occurring to her as well. And therefore, with her now, over time, her heart become hardened because she's facing all these issues in the bloodline, not seeking God for redress, seeking curious arts and other means, therefore inviting other spirits, other strongholds in her life. Also, what you notice in this sort of family, the relationship is sometimes short-lived, and sometimes they too comes with abuse. So you tend to have fighting, sometimes emotional, sometimes physical. So some of these things I also witness her struggles. But every time what appears, every time it seems that she fails, she become harder. She become worse. She become more bitter. The recourse door that God would have required of her was to seek him, because he is a merciful God. He is a loving God. But through the recourse she took to go against his will, therefore her behavior, her patterns wax worse and worse. See you on the next video. Thank you.